Prism Network gives users and projects the freedom to choose the communities and the ecosystems that they want to be a part of. And this is through their flagship product, the Prism Bridges. And with me is Lachlan Harnell, the co-founder and lead developer. Also Ming Wo, the founder of Strips Finance. And we hope to be hearing from the CEO, Hamza, here from Prism as well. So hopefully he'll join us as the interview is taking place. So Lachlan, let's start. We spoke a couple months ago, I guess it was. Can you give me an update? What's happened since our last interview?
Yeah, so a lot's been added. We are basically just continuing to launch on as many chains as we can get our hands on. So we are now on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, XDAI, OKX Chain, and we just launched on Kronos for day one launch. So that's what we're doing with the networks. Behind the scenes as well, been doing a bunch of things, focusing on expanding our community basically and growing the amount of projects we're working with and just offering even more services. So yeah, a lot of things, but primarily we're also focusing right now on cross-chain swaps in the Bridge Factory.
Well, it's interesting because I've been reading a lot about Avalanche and Polygon lately. So those seem to be kind of up and coming chain networks.
Yeah, definitely. There's been an explosion in all these different sites, like alternative layer ones. Ethereum had the high gas fees, and then I feel like that really drove a lot of people to look elsewhere. And so, that's fundamentally what we're doing, is helping people connect all these chains together. So you can just move your value where you want to move it.
So explain like the user, like who is your typical user? How do they use Prism Network?
So at the moment, Prism Network, you can use the Prism Bridge to move Prism between all these different chains.
Okay.
So that's allowing people to basically bridge value between all these different chains. That's kind of what we're doing at the moment. We also have Empire Dex as well, which is a decentralized exchange. And that's also on all these different networks. So we're still developing a lot of things. We want to kind of like intermerge the two together. So then you have the cross-chain swaps as well to be able to trade from any network to any other network.
So elaborate that a little bit, like the cross-chain swaps. What exactly does that allow someone to do?
So basically at the moment, if you want to swap your cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency, you're restricted to only trading on that network. So if you're on Polygon, you can only trade within Polygon. And obviously there are a few edge cases here and there, but at the moment it's just really difficult to do that. And so what we want to do is basically give people the option to be able to have their token on Polygon and trade it directly with a token on Phantom, and then take that and then trade it with something on Avalanche. And then just, any network that Prism Network is on, we want to be able to allow people to trade between freely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that's one of the restrictive things. If you want to buy Ethereum on one and sell Bitcoin on another, and it just, but the cross-chain swaps will allow you to do that, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. It'll allow you to do that instead of having to use, because currently if you want to move your value, you have to use a bridge. And then so you're bridging one transaction, and then on the other one, you have to get your value off, your tokens off, and then you have to do your swap. Mm-hmm. So it's just cutting out all these layers and basically making it in one swap. Your bridge is your swap.
Now, is that operational now, or is that something you're working on?
No, so that's something we're working on currently. We're looking for a release by end of year for the cross-chain swaps.
Okay.
So yeah, that's still in the works, but we're feeling good about it.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so and Ming Wo, founder of Strips Finance. Tell us about Strips Finance. What is it all about?
Sure. So as you know, interest rates, they dominate everything in finance and also have a very big impact on our economy. But it's always been a very gray area on how interest rate prices are determined and how interest rates are traded in traditional finance. So what Strips is doing is we believe that the future of finance is going to be decentralized, and interest rates being the most important price of all is going to be traded on the blockchain. So what Strips is allowing traders to do is to easily trade interest rates on DeFi through a product called an interest rate swap. And we use a automated market maker model for liquidity. And that is one of the areas that we believe is going to be a very high growth area in DeFi.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So I guess all the people who are affecting the direction of interest rates are part of this chain, this decentralized chain. And through that, you come up with some kind of true market of what the interest rates are for everything that we see interest rates on, mortgages and credit cards and everything?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so in traditional finance, it's actually very inefficient how they trade interest rates. It's a peer-to-peer market. It's a gray market system where the pricing is not transparent at all. And there is a lot of inefficiencies that is built into the settlement and clearing process. And there's there's trillions of dollars that is being traded every day on this archaic, outdated system that is running on decades-old technology. And so what we're trying to do is we're taking this problem of, okay, how do we improve the trading experience for interest rates by providing transparent pricing, real-time settlements, leveraging blockchain technology to have automated clearing? And we're starting small. We're beginning in DeFi, but really our long-term vision is to disrupt the whole financial infrastructure, and interest rates are a very important market for us.
No, it's really interesting. And not that it doesn't exist, but I think you're the first person I talked to that's had decentralized interest rate marketplace. So exactly. How do you see DeFi in general? I mean, it's just become such an interesting concept. And where do you see this whole decentralized marketplace going?
Yeah, so I mean, we're in the space because we believe that DeFi is ultimately going to be the winner in this race between traditional finance and decentralized finance. And what we're trying to do is accelerate the transition. Right? And all of the technology that we're building, all of the products that we're building is hopefully helping to accelerate that transition, because from a technical standpoint, it doesn't make sense that trillions of dollars are being settled on decades-old technology when we have the internet in place that allows for instantaneous settlement, instantaneous clearing. And as you know, with the Robinhood debacle that happened a couple of months ago with GME and all of the settlement issues, it took all of the issues that was in the settlement system into broad daylight. And so we believe that this is a very important issue to solve and tackle today.
Interesting. Well, and Robinhood was just hacked too. So I don't know if you heard that news, but they just announced it yesterday. Have you raised any money? Where's your funding?
Yeah, so we were lucky to have incredible partners join us in our latest funding round, including Sequoia, Multicoin, Defiance Capital, and we also had really great seed investors such as Mechanism Capital and Crypto.com Capital invest in us during our seed round. Okay,
interesting, because I think you're right about DeFi. I think it's just a matter of what kind of obstacles will need to be overcome along the way. But I think we're definitely going there at some point. So Lachlan, any final thoughts about Prism? And I know we're headed toward the end of the year and you have some big goals coming up. So you're going to be busy over the next few months.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to try to stick to that schedule of one network a week. And we're just going to keep upgrading. I think by the time we have another conversation, we'll have just a bunch of new networks added, a bunch of new features. We're really, really excited. I mean, just for what we're doing for DeFi as a whole, we're building the decentralized future, and it feels good to do it.
Well, thank you so much, Lachlan and Ming, for joining us. Really interesting. And next time we'll do it on a better time for you, because I know you're in Australia and Singapore, and it's, so I'll wake up early for you guys next time.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Great to see you. All right. Bye.